Good morning. Good morning. It's Dr. Renee, in case you don't know who I am. Um, we've had a lot of new viewers on YouTube, which is a great thing. So I am going to, real quickly, I have to go do something. Please, if you are tuning in live, do me a huge favor and say good morning, where you're tuning in from. And I guess I should probably mute my phone, huh? But one second. Oh, no, it's not working. Okay. Okay. We're good to go. We are good to go. So let me get back to where you guys are. Okay. So today is a very special day. It is January 23rd, 2025. And today is Lady T's birthday. So if you don't know who Lady T is, you're going to learn in a few minutes. So, first of all, I'm Dr. Renee. I'm a medical doctor. I don't practice medicine. I do media full time. And so, what does that mean? That means that I educate the masses about their health. So, whether it be on TV, in magazines, on the internet, on podcasts, on radio, etc., that's what I do. So, 2025, I graduated from medical school, and I had always said that's another story for a different day, but I said I was going to have an entertainment company. I told my sister, I promised her, I said, we're going to do this because this is what we want to do. We're going to do it eventually. We'll, get in our careers and then we'll do it. Okay. Well, God had a different plan. So I went to a conference called the National Association of Black Females and Executives in Music and Entertainment. And this year they're celebrating their 30th year, I think it is. So congratulations to Johnny Walker and thank you to her. So I saw that conference in the Black Enterprise magazine in summer of 2025 and was like, oh, this conference is in Chicago. I live in Chicago. I should go. And so, because like I said, I knew that eventually I wanted to do something in entertainment. And so I said I should go. So I went. And I went to a concert of new artists at the Harold Washington Cultural Center on King Drive. And if you knew, at that time, I lived right down the street from there. So once again, very convenient. Went to this concert, and there was a young lady, 15 years old, on stage with a Detroit hat on. And she was a rapper, and she was really good. Reminded me a lot of MC Light. Very good, though. I mean, lots of lyrics, and you can understand everything she said. It was wonderful. So I ended up that weekend, I had met Karen Taylor Bass and her assistant, Wendy Robinson. And I ended up spending like the entire weekend with them. And I'll tell you this story real quickly, too. So spending the weekend with them, I was going to all of the, all the different talks with them. I went and ate with them, all this stuff. So Karen, while we were, we keep spending this time together, she's getting to know me. I keep looking this way because I'm trading. So Karen's spending all this time with me, so she wants to get to know me. So she's talking to me, and she's like, so, and I ended up telling her, because I graduated from med school, in case you didn't know, May 2005. So I ended up telling her that. Now, mind you, I hadn't told anybody at this conference I graduated med school, because what does medical school have to do with an entertainment conference for women? And so I ended up telling her that, and she was like, you're Dr. Renee. And if you know me, you know that I've told this story a million times, but she told me that. And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, growing up, because at the age of 5 is when I decided I wanted to be a doctor, I was always going to be Dr. Matthews. And my sister knew as soon as I got that degree, you were going to call me Dr. Matthews, and I wasn't answering anything else. And then I graduated, and I really was like, by then I didn't care, right? So Karen was like, you're Dr. Renee. And I was just like, okay, whatever. So she goes, no, from now on, you're going to introduce yourself as Dr. Renee. And I thought that was so silly. Like, I was like, why? But okay. So I just really wasn't thinking about it. So we went to something, the next thing we went to, and we were introducing ourselves, and she gave me this look like, if you don't say Dr. Renee, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm just like, and so, and I don't even know if she knew she gave that intimidating look, but she did. And she is now my big sis. I love her dearly. But so I was Dr. Renee. So that's how I became Dr. Renee. So um, I go to this conference, and I go to the concert, and I'm watching the girl, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I go, oh my God, Wendy, she's from Detroit like me. And she goes, you should get her stuff. And I was like, what am I do with it? I'm not in entertainment like you are. Now, mind you, at the time, one of Karen's clients was Jill Scott. Karen was the one that created the campaign, who was Jill Scott. Karen also represented, I think, Maxwell, and if not Maxwell, it was D'Angelo. But D'Angelo, that's who it was. D'Angelo, and she represented a whole bunch of people. So I was just like, I'm not in this business like you are. I just came to this conference because I'm very interested, but I don't know anything about this stuff. So she's like, well, you should talk to them. And I'm just like, so we watched the whole show. And after the show's over, I just wanted to go say hi because they were Detroiters, and we're in Chicago. We're not in Detroit. So I love to see Detroiters. So I was like, let me just go say hi and say I'm from Detroit too. So I ended up seeing her parents, and I was like, hi. And I introduced myself and told them I'm a Detroiter or whatever. I don't even know how the conversation came to be, but somehow her mother gave me her package. And I literally didn't open the package for like a week or two. And then one day I opened it. I know, Regina, 20 years. Isn't that crazy? I opened the package, and her mother worked at a very, very successful advertising agency, Global U. And so she had a very professional package. Like, you not know this child was amateur. So I watched the DVD that was in the package, and it was really impressive. And then the package itself, they had the photo, the headshots and all that stuff. Everything was phenomenal. Please share this if you'd like. But so I was like, oh my gosh, I was blown away. So then I called her mom, only just to say, because I had some ideas, just some thoughts that I had when I saw the package. And her mom's like, we can get this in writing. We love to work with you. And I was just like, what did I just say to this woman? Because I'm just calling just like, it wasn't me trying to do anything. I was just calling. Like, it wasn't a big deal, right? And I was just like, and so the wheels started spinning in my head because this lady was dead serious. And I was like, okay. So then when I got the phone with her, I called my sister, and I was like, Alicia, I think we're in business. And she's like, what? I said, so, and I told her what happened. And she was like, okay. And so, in case you also did not know, my cousin Kyle Matthews is graphic designer extraordinaire, and he is the lovely person that came up with my water bottles in the way. With Ask Dr. Renee, he created the logo. And so, of course, he created the logo for our company, which is now known as Matthews Entertainment Group and Associates, MEGA. My sister came up with the tagline, Live Big, Dream Bigger, MEGA. And my cousin, he sent us one logo. It was that MEGA logo that we have, the red and white, and we were done. That was it. Me and my sister were like, this is perfect. We love it. And so that was the day our company was born. And that was August of 2005. And our first client was Lady T. And shortly after that conversation with her mom, I booked her on it was a fashion show in Philly that Eve, as in rapper Eve, Pitbull in a skirt. It was her stepfather, who is a fashion designer. It was his fashion show. And so I had got them, and they said, they were having auditions. And I said, okay, well, the young lady is in Detroit. Do you really need her to come to Philly for the audition? Blah, 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 blah. And they were like, well, can you send us something? And so I sent them over something, a Lady T. And when I tell you, I don't think I had just hit send. And they called me immediately and was like, we want to book her. And so I called her mom and was like, so I have this gig. Now, mind you, this is all on the same day. I have this gig in Philly. Her mother's like, we'll make it happen. And my sister, I called her because my sister actually lived in Delaware at the time, which, of course, if you know geography, Delaware and Philly ain't nowhere from each other. So I called my sister and I said, so remember we started that company today? Well, I just booked our client. Hold on, it's Lady T. I just booked our client on on this fashion show Eve's stepfather's doing. And so my sister's like, oh great, you're coming. And I said, no, actually I'm not. You live in Delaware and we are a new company. We want no money. I said, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna go and you'll handle it. And she's like, what? And I was like, you'll be fine. And so I forgot when the show was. And maybe Tara will type it in. But the show was late. It was in a few months, was a month or two from then or whatever. And sure enough, my sister met them at, I think she picked them up from the airport. And my sister and Lady T are the same sign. They're Aquarians. And Lady T was a baller. In case you did not know, Alicia Nicole Matthews is a baller. Before she was a chef and had tongs and spoons and knives in her hand, she had a basketball. And very good basketball players, both of them. Probably could have played in college, both of them. And actually, I know they could have. So they're very much alike. And if you've ever met my sister is quite the opposite of myself. Now, what people find hilarious is that I'm actually an introvert. I'm an introvert with extroverted lifestyle. And so that forces me to have to be extroverted some of the time. But when I tell you I'm introvert, I am. But my sister is even more introverted than I am. So both ladies just painfully shy. But Alicia picked them up and she said that girl didn't say anything. And Alicia called me after she dropped them off and said, Renee, this girl is going to embarrass us so badly. She didn't say a word the entire time in the car. Her mother is lovely, but she didn't say anything. And I said, oh, that's because she's just like you. She don't know you yet. And when she does, you'll be fine. And mind you, this in these few little months, because like I said, it was only a few months from when we stopped, when we decided to do the partnership. And see, there she is. Lady T is on now. Maybe I'll even bring her on screen. We'll see. But Tara, tell me if you're like someplace where you can come on. But Tara's been on my show though, so you should go back and watch that episode of my show. That's what we'll do. And maybe we'll have you on again. We'll see. But so Tara and I had spoken on the phone and we, and that's how we had communicated. Because I don't think I had been back to the D to see her. So yeah, so we had talked on the phone. So I had spoken to Tara and she was fine. Like she would talk to me. She was fine. Yeah, you're good. We're not gonna come on, Tara. And so she was fine. She would talk to me. It was not a big deal. Make sure you share this, Tara, please. Thank you. Especially, well, it doesn't matter, YouTube or Facebook. So she would talk to me. So I knew that she would be fine. Plus, I'd seen her before. So my sister, of course, had not. And this was before the days of live streaming and all that stuff. So she didn't see the performance that I saw. So, and she didn't have the DVD. I had no way to get Alicia the DVD for Alicia to see it. And so this is before Tara really had a presence online. So there was nothing for Alicia to go off of except for my word. So they go to the concert and Alicia's still standing there like, this child looked like she not about to do nothing, Renee. I said, Alicia, get off the phone with me and you'll be fine. And you know how, and I told her, you know how Beyonce is Sasha Fierce? Well, Tara has Lady T and Lady T will come out and I promise you she will blow up the stage. Lady T left the stage and I don't know if there was a stage left because Alicia called me and was like, Renee. Everyone loved her. Oh my God, she was so amazing. Eve's stepfather said he wants to bring her back on stage and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, I tried to tell you, I ain't crazy. This girl has my name on it too. She not going to embarrass us. And that was the beginning of our journey. So Lady T is how I ended up in, and Tony Brown, DJ Truth was there at that first show. And this is how I got into entertainment was because of Lady T. And I every day I thank her in my head, in my heart, because although, and we'll talk about this another day, I am a triple threat. I dance, I sang, and I acted. that wasn't the way that I got in. The way that I got in is because I was her manager and publicist, and that's how I got that's how I started making connections and networking and stuff, because my talent was so amazing. She was just the bomb. And so, like I said, she was 15, so that was the other thing. And it was so funny. She was coming up in articles being put up against Little Mama and stuff. It was so hilarious. It was crazy. But yeah, so I met Tara 20 years ago, and I cannot believe that today, Tara, I'm sorry, I must have to say, she's 35. I cannot believe it. But I'm so happy that I met her. That girl is a crier. Dear God, she is. Tara, don't cry. But yeah, Tara and Dani, her mom. And then, so on our journey though, we played the bottom of the barrel and the top of the barrel. So the bottom of the barrel, we would play the most wonderful but nightclubs and bars in Detroit and in other cities. But then top, she blew up 106 in Park, and I'll tell that story in a second. But I want to say, when we were in Detroit though, her dad would be with us, and Rick is my guy, because me and him both would be there like, why am I here? Why am I here? and and he'd be like, let's go, and I'd be like, I'm with him, and I just go. Whereas Tara and her mother, they would just be working the room, and I'm with him. It's just like, I'm out. I love him. But yeah, just a wonderful family. Her brother, her nephew would be there sometimes too if we were in the D. And then, of course, I have to say that the before 106 in Park, Tara had the opportunity. I got an opportunity. Somebody was looking for a rapper to do a song about hair. And I told Tara, and it was in Detroit. And so Tara went to the studio and literally wrote the song right then. And if you watch the video of my hair anniversary, which was this week, Ponytail, that is the song. I Know I Look Good. And they did, the craziest thing happened one day. We were watching the Today Show, and they were talking about, it was a hair something. I forget what it was, something with hair, and they played that song. And when I tell you, we were just floored, because it was the Today Show, like national NBC. It was so crazy. But that was before this happened too. So Tara, I forgot how, but somehow we got her on 106 in Park, and she killed it. This is when Twitter was at its heyday. So me and my sister were backstage tweeting to make sure people voted for her. We blew up Twitter. She was trending. They said 106 in Park, it had never been that loud before. They didn't know what was going on. People were coming from everywhere in their offices at BET, like, what is going on? What's all the commotion? Because she blew it up. And then she got to go back again too and do 106 in Park. So she did it twice, but she killed it. Tara had amazing dancers that would travel with her too when she did huge shows. And they were the most talented group of people I have ever seen myself. So thank you to them as well, because they made her very, very, very visually appealing too. Tara did the Chicago Football Classic with K-John. A lot of people don't know. And unfortunately, something happened. And even though Alicia and I were in town, we didn't get to go. That had nothing to do with Tara, though, or her mother. And it had nothing to do with our team. It had something to do with the other team. So, and it just happens like that, because there's a story about me and Chico DeBarge, another client of mine, and how here I was. He was in concert here in Chicago. And once again, I wasn't at the show. But yeah, my team, I have to say, my team of one, me and my sister, and then of course their team, which was a whole lot of people, but really her mother who held it down and funded all of it. They were amazing to work with, and it was just a wonderful entree into the entertainment business. And it was wonderful to meet all the people that I've met through that business, through music. And getting me into music like that just was crazy. And I never would have dreamt it would have been rap, because yes, I like rap music, but I'm so an R&B and gospel girl, like really an R&B girl. And it was funny because people started knowing that I had helped out Lady T. So then, oh my God, my mailbox would be flooded with CDs from different rappers that were just really, not my cup of tea. Um, and it was just mind blowing. Email, just crazy, crazy. And the other funny thing with that was that Twitter, I had our logo, Mega, and I was Dr. Renee, of course, and I didn't have my picture. And my friend Paul Carrick Brunson, the matchmaker, was like, "You got to put your picture on Twitter." And I'm like, "Why?" And so it was so funny. I went to an event one day and I introduced myself as Dr. Renee because, like I said, that just is who I am now because of Karen Taylor Bass. So I introduced myself and they said they get my emails. And I'm like, "You're on my email list?" And that's another story that, yeah. And I was like, "They're on my email list." And I was like, "Wow." And they didn't know what I looked like because my picture is nowhere. Everything was Lady T. You didn't need to know what I looked like. You just needed to know Lady T. And so everything was about Lady T. I remember I had to force her to get on Facebook. And, and she was like, "What?" I had to force her to get on Twitter. Um, yeah, she just was like not trying to hear me, but I was like, "I know what I'm talking about. You got to get on." And as a matter of fact, I let her take over my Facebook and friend all these random people because we knew that we needed the numbers. I don't know how many years it took for me to clean out my Facebook of all these random people I didn't know, but I finally got it done. But yeah, she one thing she always said was that Dr. Renee can make it happen. And so I had read Make It Happen by Kevin Liles twice. Great book. And so I really did try everything I could to make it happen, whatever it was. The most randomest mess. I have no idea how I made happen. And you said I have a good memory, but you, like, when you posted, so for her birthday, I don't know what year that was. My sister and I, don't ask me how, got some autographed TLC memorabilia because just like Alicia, she loves Left Eye. And and she still has it, of course, because this is obviously it was authentic. And so that's a big deal. And so she still has it, but I don't even remember how that happened or where it came from. And I think my sister, when I told her, she didn't remember either, but apparently that's something we did. Who knew? And I do remember, because I remember her saying it. Somehow she met Chris Brown, and I think I had something to do with that, but I can't remember how that happened. Trey Songz was on a flight with me, and all I could think was to call Tara, and he said he would talk to her because he knew me. And so he spoke to Tara for a long time. She was in the lunchroom at Wayne State, and she was so excited. Yeah, so Hip Hop Professional came out at that time too by Shanti Das. And if you watch the Ask Dr. Renee show, Shanti Das has been on a couple times. Shanti, I tell everyone, is one of the marketing minds behind Outkast. And if you watch that whole leading up to the Super Bowl stuff with Usher, then she was part of that team as well. And if you've seen videos, then Usher has called her out from the stage when he was in Vegas and stuff too. But Shanti wrote that book, and Shanti was a good friend of one of my friends. And so he sent me the book for a birthday present, and I read it. It was so good. And it was Hip Hop Professional was really about women in the entertainment space. And it was just a really great book to read. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so then I randomly met her in person and been my girl ever since. And I'm not going to cry, but we met Umi at the same time. It was at that same conference. So Tara met Umi separately from me, but at the same conference. So I ended up seeing Umi at an event another time later in Chicago. And I spoke to her. I went up to her with somebody, and then I just introduced myself to her. And I told her who I was. And I told her about this client I had and how I really needed to talk to her about her. And then she said, "I have this young lady that I think you should work with." And I'm thinking, I'm a newbie. Like, why would you want to partner somebody with me? But she was like, "No, I think you'd be perfect." And it was Lady T. So she wanted to introduce me to Lady T, and I wanted her help with Lady T. So I used to talk to Umi every single day because I knew what she did with Mos Def, and I figured, well, if she could do that with Mos Def, then she definitely could help me with Lady T. And I know what I don't know, and I knew I did not know what I was doing. I was a fish out of water. I went to medical school. I studied physiology at Michigan State. Like, my entertainment space was watching TV and listening to CDs and going to concerts and movies and plays. So talking to Umi, I knew that I could learn a lot. So I learned every day. I would talk to Umi every day, and she would guide me, do this, say this, don't, talk to this one. I would tell her about deals that were flying through and, all the people we were talking to. And Umi was like, this. And Umi died. I want to say that was 2023. And I miss her dearly. And that was my girl. And long after I was no longer doing anything with Lady T or entertainment, we remained very good friends. But that was one person that people didn't know that was in my pocket. And I was like, oh, Umi will know what to say. Umi will know what to do. The newsletter, that's what I'll tell you. So I started the newsletter on Constant Contact, and I sent the first one out, and Johnny Walker immediately emailed me and told me exactly what I did wrong on that newsletter. I don't think she mentioned a thing I did right, but you know what? I appreciated the constructive criticism. I made all those changes. I sent out the next one, and she said I got it right, and away we went. And Karen also gave feedback too, I think, on that first newsletter. But yeah, that's how I started my newsletter and my email list. But yeah, that's the story of how I got into entertainment, because some people did not know that. And so now you know. That's how I got into entertainment. And Lady T is still an amazing rapper, because I know she is, because she's the bomb. And funny thing, I got on stage at an event with MC Light and rapped her part in Self-Destruction. So then I tried to tell Tara how it goes so that she could do it at another event, because Tara ended up being invited to perform at an event with MC Light. I think she opened for something here in Chicago, the Black Family Reunion that Ebony Johnson Publishing, Ebony used to put on. And she said, Tara was like, I can't get it. She couldn't get the words fast enough, because I was like trying to tell her what they were. But it was okay. She did fabulous, of course. And she did, like I said, she did a couple shows with MC Light, and MC Light's manager knew me because of me getting on stage with MC Light, and then because Tara. So that was cool too. But yeah, that's how we got into the crazy business of entertainment, and now I talk about medicine, which is wonderful. And so that's how I ended up working with Troop and with Steve from Troop and stuff, because Tara had opened that door, and that's how I got in. So happy birthday, Tara. I hope you have the most amazing birthday. I think it still got snow on the ground in Alabama, so you can just feel like you're in Detroit. And if you all need a home, Tara, if you're still here, you need to give me your website or something so I can put it on the screen. But if you need a home, Tara is your person. She has a whole lot of real estate something. She's a realtor, broker, and all sorts of things, landlord. And she's got some things in the pipeline. So please make sure you follow her, because you don't want to miss what's coming, because it's coming. Hurry up, type, so I can put it on the screen. And because she's still doing big things, because we're Detroiters, we hustle hard, in case you didn't know. That's what we do. And I think it's so crazy that I get paid to do what I do now, talking about health, but it brings me so much joy. My hashtag has always been Live Life You Deserve, and live life you deserve in everything you do. Thank you, girlfriend. See? And there's Tara's website, getacphomes.com. But yeah, I think it's always been that, and all of my clients have always pushed that. They just didn't know. Tara, there was no cursing in her songs. She just was really clean and wholesome, and I just really could vibe with her music. I actually purchased her first CD myself, even though my name was in the credits. I purchased it because it was phenomenal. And shoot, I purchased Steve's first one that I worked on too, because when I worked with him, because it was phenomenal too. But yeah, she is just very talented, and you have not seen the last of her. I heard that 106 in Park, they're trying to come back, so maybe they'll have her back on, because I'm telling you, the girl can still kill it. And I will be in the audience cheering, because I very much enjoy her music. All her stuff is on iTunes. You can look her up at Lady T. It's probably on some other platforms. She'll probably tell me in a second if I'm right, but I know it's on iTunes because I'm an iPhone person, and I literally was working out to her music recently. I love her stuff, and I just put it on
Order
repeat.
filled.
Told you we were trading. So I love her stuff. I love it. But yeah, I'm very blessed and honored to be able to do what I do. But it's because of Lady T that I'm able to, that I was able to make the connections that I am to get myself on TV and stuff, and to get myself in these publications, and because Lady T was in Vibe and stuff. But I was like, oh my God. And then when it came time for me, I was like, now how do I do that? They were like, Renee, but you got Lady T. And they was like, yeah, but me is totally different. How do I sell myself? But I did it. But yeah, I am very blessed and honored to do what I do. But I really, really, really don't know if I would be doing this like full time and able to live like this if it wasn't for her mom taking that chance on us. But thank you so much, because you turned my sister into a press release writer, and we learned so much stuff. Oh my God, we learned so much. But thank you to NABFEM Johnny Walker, and thank you to Danny and Tara Twyman and the whole Twyman crew, and yeah, and my sissy, of course, because I come up with the craziest ideas, and she is the best little sister because she's just like, okay, and she just gets on board. Somewhat like this whole trading thing too, because guess who was trading this morning? I was, but she was right there with me too on the phone. But yeah, so I think this whole video might be the start of my subscription service. I don't know, but I'll leave it up for a little bit. But and then we'll just have snippets of it. But happy 35th birthday. I still can't believe you're 35. That just blows my mind. We were so blessed that in the pandemic, Lady Tia came to the D, and she came and visited us. So we did get to see her. We had not seen her in quite a while. So that was really cool. But yeah, that's it, and that's all. And I'm glad I got to do this in 32 minutes. Good job. But everyone, please have a thankful Thursday. Even though some crazy things happened this week, I heard that something happened on Monday besides MLK Day. I didn't know about it because that wasn't my focus. But what I do know is that a bishop from the lovely church, Episcopal Church, she gave quite a word on Monday apparently, and kudos to her. And yeah, so we're gonna have a thankful Thursday. We're gonna be thankful, and we're going to rest assured that we are all going to be just fine. And this time will fly by. Okay, everyone have an awesome day. Bye.